Hello and welcome to the L.T.L. Tutoring Central video series. My name's Ron, and this week I'm talking about online tutoring. What can online tutoring do for you? You might be asking yourself this question: is online tutoring right for me? Is online tutoring right for my child? And so you may have already taken some courses, or you may still be sort of pondering, should I or shouldn't I bother with an online tutor or online learning experience? And today I want to talk about a few of the benefits of online tutoring. And the first one is that you can learn, and that's obviously the most important. You can learn to retain information that you learned this year or this term or semester. You can learn new material for the next year or the next term coming up, or something new that you simply want to know more about to improve your skills in reading or writing or math or some other course. And you can also maintain. In other words, if you're studying right now in an English course or a math course, for example, you can improve the grade that you're likely to get this term, and you can expand your knowledge. You can have someone there as a coach that will sort of help you along the way. So that's kind of what I'd call a maintenance tutor, helping you along the way. But all of these things can combine as well, because of course you may need to look back at previous units or strategies, for what you're doing now, and you may also want to look forward to be prepared for the next year, the next term, the next course, or the rest of your life if you happen to be wanting to become a writer, for example. So that's essential, obviously, if you want to get a tutor online that you can actually learn. There's other advantages, such as you can do it from almost anywhere that you have an internet connection. So you can do it from the comfort of your own home, you can do it from the beach, you can do it from a cafe, and that is for learner or for the tutor as well. So this video isn't just for learners, it's for tutors and learners, because the benefits go both ways. We can both work from home, we can both work from other locations. I actually did a presentation when I was on vacation a couple of years ago, and that was great. I didn't know how it would work because it was the first time I'd done it, but it was perfect. Set it up, did my presentation, and then went right back into my vacation. So you can do that as a student as well. And the other advantage is, if you're at home, of course, you have access to your own materials and all the comforts of your own place. You know where everything is, etc., etc. Another advantage is that you don't have to be learning all on your own. You can take asynchronous courses in which you will be learning more on your own, doing more independent work. But you can also talk to the instructor. You're listening to me now, you're seeing me now, and through platforms like Zoom or Skype, we can do that very easily. So the instructor and the student can definitely still see each other, talk to each other, listen to each other. And with whiteboards, such as bit paper, you can scribble to each other as well. You can make notes, you can draw on the whiteboard, and the instructor can do that, and you can the learner can do that as well. And so you can share information that way. You can also upload files, download files, so the learner or the teacher or the instructor can also print off material if you want, because sometimes it is good to work on paper as well, even if you're doing online tutoring. As I always say, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's an English expression. If English is not your first language, you might be shocked to hear that one. But what it means is that the old methods don't all have to be thrown away. You can use older methods as well as newer technology and newer methods. There's nothing wrong with combining. And sometimes writing on paper is an excellent way of getting started, especially doing rough drafts, brainstorming, things like that. It wires the brain differently. You think differently when you're writing, when you have that physical contact with a pencil or pen and paper. And also doing rough calculations for mathematics. I think that's often good to be done on paper. I think that's an excellent way to continue learning and to continue wiring the brain. I actually think that there is a difference when you actually have that tactile movement of the pen or pencil. And research has shown this as well. It's not just me blathering away here. It actually does seem to be proven true that sometimes handwriting or printing or doing some calculations by hand is much more useful than just using a calculator or just typing onto the computer. But the computer or cell phone or iPad, they're very useful for final drafts, for example. That you can do, excuse me, you can do brainstorming and rough drafts on the computer as well. But for final drafts, they're really excellent. So we can communicate in so many different ways with technology these days. Another great benefit is that you don't have to travel back and forth to a tutor all the time. A lot of my students come to me and I love it. I have the big table behind me. As you know, I see students here every day and it's fantastic. I've loved it. I've done it for over 20 years and I am still taking live students or in-person students. I guess all my students are live. I'm not teaching any dead people, but people who actually come here. But online, you don't have to travel back and forth. It's a little bit of an advantage if you're in the local area, but it's a huge advantage if you're in another town, another province or state, or another country. It's a little tricky for students from China to travel to Canada, to Guelph, to come and visit me at my big table in person, but it's very possible to do online. So it doesn't matter what country you're from, as long as you have an internet connection, we can communicate and we can do lessons together. And I always say, I am a tutor. I teach a lot of different people, a lot of different ages, but I'm a learner as well. I take courses online also, and sometimes I print the material. Often I do the work online too. And so it's a great tool for both learner and instructor or teacher, but I think we're all learners and teachers at the same time. In fact, students learn a lot from teaching others. So that's another benefit. It's that in some cases, you can meet other students taking the same lessons or same courses, or you can communicate with others, because if you've run into a difficulty, then they might have as well. So you can help them or they can help you, and it goes in all directions. Everybody can help everybody, basically. So those are some of the great benefits to you for hiring an online tutor or being an online tutor, or a little of both, like I do. And I want you to consider, I want you to think and realize that you can do everything, almost everything, online to learn that I can do here in person. We can talk, we can see each other, we can send each other notes and documents. I can mark them online. I can give you suggestions online. We can even draw and do things together online. So there's very little. The whiteboard takes place of what I call Ron's famous scrap paper. I use tons of scrap paper because I love drawing out things and showing people how to construct a sentence, how to do this math problem, draw some pictures to sort of visualize it. You can do that on the whiteboard, on the computer, just as well. Maybe I'm not as good as some because I'm just getting used to my pad, but nevertheless, you can definitely do that. So I've written a little blog about this as well, so if you want to see it in print and sort of remind yourself, I might have forgotten to mention a couple of points as well. I'll put a link below so you can read that blog and remind yourself of all the benefits of getting yourself an online tutor or doing some online courses. I'll also put my website link below. So what's stopping you? Let's start learning together. I can help you get started. Check the website out or email me, and I can do a free information meeting on Skype or on Zoom, or if you're in the local area, you can come right to my office here and we can do it here. And there's no obligation, and then you can get started on your learning path. Isn't that exciting? I think it is. Or if you're going to plan to be a tutor, you can get started on your tutoring path. You can get a hold of me then too. I don't teach how to tutor, but I've been doing it for over 20 years, so I might have some helpful tips for you in that regard also. I hope to hear from you soon. I'm going to put some links below. Don't forget to subscribe, to like the video, put down a comment, ask a question, and I'll get right to it. And let's start learning together. Okay, that's it for today, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.